Welcome to Yesterday at the World Cup, our daily program here on Nigeria Super Fans Forum, where we come around to look at games that were played the previous day at the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup. My name is Olafemi Ashaolu. Today on the show, of course, we are doing this right from the studio. James Sabiri joins me live in the studio, and Kyle Ogundari, of course, is on phone. James, you're welcome.
Thank you, Femi. Always a pleasure.
All right, Kyle, you're welcome to Yesterday at the World Cup.
Thank you very much, Femi.
All right. Okay. So yesterday, Africa recorded the biggest victory yet at the ongoing tournament in Qatar. Morocco, out of nowhere. I think all of us now, we need to start respecting Walid Regragui for pulling off that shock of a result. So we'll be looking at all of those today. But let's start with Canada versus Croatia. 4-1, the Canadians, after 34 years of missing out of the World Cup, they are packing their bags right now, and of course they will be joining the host Qatar to return to their respective homes and watch the rest of the tournament from there. Kyle Debo, I think the best place to start is to talk about Morocco. No one saw that coming. 2-0 over the Belgians. For Belgium, there's so much to talk about. They are not Africans, but a lot of things have been said about Roberto Martinez and his the ability or the capacity, the capability as a coach. But let's talk about the Moroccans. 2-0. Did you see that coming, Coyote?
Femi, to be honest with you, I didn't know it was going to be a blowout like that, but I'm not surprised about the outcome of the game. Like I said, this Belgian side were lucky to get through against Canada, but they weren't going to be lucky every day. All they needed was to meet a much more experienced team than the Canadians, which they met in the Moroccans. They met a team that was focused, that was organized, and that managed the game better. Then at the point I said after 70 minutes, I think I tweeted that so far so good. The Moroccans have the upper hand. They have managed the game well. They have organized effectively, and they've been tactically disciplined. 3 minutes later, they got the first goal, and so at the end of the game, they got the second goal. Those goals and the victory were well deserved ones, Femi. They deserved every point that they got against Belgium, and it speaks to the quality of or a lack of it of the Belgians. Femi, that team is damaged. I don't see them. When I think the conversation, somebody told me, I think you remember this conversation, somebody was talking about Belgium being a contender, and I said, no, I do not agree.
Yeah.
In 2018,
I remember.
I said the same thing. I said, I'm not convinced about them. Tell me, it is because of their mentality. Everybody is a big man in that Belgian side, and they have a manager who appears not to be in charge. That's Roberto Martinez. And you and I were discussing after their game. I said, I think the honorable thing for Martinez to do is to throw in the towel. Or if he doesn't, he should be sacked without pay by the Belgian FA. That for me is just my thinking about the game. They've been one of the most terrible teams in this competition. They were lucky, like I said, against Canada. They came unstuck against Morocco, who deserved all of the rest. And let me quickly add that I remember that in our countdown to the World Cup, we talked about some sections of the Moroccan press and people who were complaining of a lack of experience.
For Walid Regragui, yeah.
If you do not allow him to play, if you don't allow him to coach at the World Cup, how do you want him to get the World Cup experience? Now, he came up against a coach who had been to the World Cup, who had coached the Premier League, who had done everything, who has a very, very rich CV, but yet he out-taught and out-foxed that person. That tells you that this experience of 18 sometimes can be very, very overrated. I'm so happy for him. I'm happy for Morocco. I'm happy for Africa.
Okay. Kadi, please still stay with us. James, yesterday at the Out to Mama Stadium, we saw that result that no one was expecting. And now, Kadi talked about our lead, Regragui. This is a coach who was appointed in August. Just August, few months to the tournament, and he was able to pull one over Roberto Martinez, who is being around all that. I know we can talk about how much lessons I think we'll say someone like Pesero or Nigerian coaches should learn from this. But let's focus on Morocco now because they deserve their moment. Yesterday, the stadium was thrown into wild celebration. Even the Qatari fans, they had to join the Moroccan fans to celebrate that victory. Yet they said for several hours they refused to leave the stadium because this that was their biggest victory since their 3-0 victory over Scotland in the 1998 World Cup. So they have to celebrate the moment.
Yeah, their third victory at the World Cup in their history. You know, their first came in 1986 against Portugal. The second one against
This is Portugal. Portugal will not leave Africa alone.
You know, so for me, I wasn't expecting the result. I was like, from what I was watching, I was like, okay, so far so good. A draw won't be a bad result. I never knew that they had something up their sleeve, and the goal started turning in. I think the difference between the Moroccan team that we saw yesterday and the Senegal and Netherlands, they refuse to be bullied. They refuse to give up. They refuse to surrender. They refuse to allow the Belgian side rule over them. As they were giving it, they were giving them back. They showed them that we are here to play and want to win. They didn't surrender at any point in time. So that was the key moment for them. Unlike when Senegal played the Netherlands, they started withdrawing, as in like, okay, let's just settle for a draw. Morocco refused to settle for a draw. You know, and that was one of the reasons why they were able to go all out. And you know, they scored in the first half.
Yeah, it was cancelled by Hakim Ziyech.
So almost similar. So which means the scoreline would have even been worse than that.
They had the belief.
They have the belief. They had the confidence that they can take out this Belgian side. You know, the Belgian team is just made up of stars who I feel they are.
Can't they say they are all big men?
You know, the Hazard is not the Hazard that we used to know. De Bruyne has not really done much.
Even when it was, they still didn't achieve anything. Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne.
So all these guys, they were just hanging on. They were just like, okay, with their stars, they should be able to roll over Morocco. You know that this is a different Moroccan side that was ready to do damage, and they were able to come up with the victory. You know, so for me, I was so happy for them that at least an African team, at least a point should be enough to take them into the round of 16, because they're going to play against Canada. I'm not saying they should go into the game feeling overconfident, because you know what football can be. So at least this has put them in a very good position, because now the battle is between Croatia and Belgium now. They have to cancel themselves out. So it's just
in the last game.
Take care of business. I think they've done the hardest part. So it's just, you know, consolidate from the result from yesterday when they face Canada.
Okay, so I think Alfonso Davies should just allow Morocco at least to just, because since you guys are already out of the tournament. Quickly, guys, there is no time. Let's talk about Canada, Croatia. Of course, Canada scored for the same. Alfonso Davies put the North Americans in the lead, but of course, Croatia came from nowhere. 4 goals. I wouldn't still know if Croatia are really ready for this tournament. Maybe it's just a flash in the pan for them, because in the first game against Morocco, a lot of people were not convinced about their performance. Spain, Germany, I think we need to quickly talk about that. Kayode, Spain, Germany, what were the things you observed quickly?
Yeah, I think it was Germany that I love their fight back in the last 5-10 minutes of the game. I love the fact that they never give up, and they shoot flashes that they lost to Japan actually hurt them. And the second game, they had to play a team of Spain's caliber. FM, you know what? I still tell people, and let me put it out there, that the final analysis, I still expect Spain and Germany to qualify from that group. Yeah, that's my expectation. Because they have set up nicely. What they both need is just to win their last games. Spain against Japan, and Spain even needs a draw. The draw will be enough.
That would be 5 points.
Yeah. The draw will be enough for them to go through, and all Germany needs to do is to win the game against Costa Rica, which I know they are capable of doing. If they are able to do that, I think they will be home and dry. It's not the best way to qualify from the group. At this stage, anything will do as long as it takes you out of that group into the next round. Okay,
all right. James, Costa Rica, Japan. You know, this World Cup, I think, is the most World Cup with I don't know the kind of upset that happens in this World Cup.
Yeah.
You will expect that if Japan could beat Germany, then they should take Costa Rica, that Spain put 7 behind, to the cleaners. But Costa Rica scored with their first shot on target at this tournament. James, very quickly.
Yeah, I was surprised too because I was expecting Japan to at least take care of business and make the qualification easy so that going into their final game, at least it will be like an inconsequential game. But they have it all to do now. They didn't even pick a point.
They're playing a Spain that also need a result in that game.
So everything is well balanced out now. So nobody is setting up qualification. So they put themselves in that situation. That's just one thing about this World Cup. When you expect a team that did well, the next thing they will just
look at Saudi Arabia beat Argentina and had to lose.
So that goes to show you there are teams. We still have the big teams. We still have the small teams. No matter how you want to look at it, the big teams will always come to the party when they needed it most. I mean, look at a team like Germany. Playing against Spain. You think, okay, after what Spain did to Costa Rica, they just no, it doesn't work out like that. So for me, the Japanese now they have to go back and re-strategize. But they know that they have their work cut out now. They just have to come all out and win against Spain. Because Spain, a draw will be enough for them because the goal they scored against Costa Rica will come into play at the end of the day. So for Japan, they will be kicking themselves seriously now that why didn't they
get a result against Costa Rica?
And this problem. So for me, to the final group games, before we know who will join France in the round of 16.
Okay. Kayode, we are hoping that today we are doing a preview for Cameroon. Now, Cameroon, they'll be taking on Serbia. We are hoping that the Cameroonian, the Indomitable Lions, will not be the first African country to be eliminated at this World Cup. They will be taking on Serbia. Serbia lost 2-0 to Brazil in their first game, while Cameroon lost 1-0 to Switzerland. We are hoping that they will not be the first African country to be eliminated today. So what do you think Rigobert Song and his boys need to do to get a result in this game? Quickly, very quickly. Our producer said we have just 1 minute to go.
Femi, not getting knocked out of the competition is totally in their hands. If they are going to have any chance, they have to be much more organized than I saw in their first game. They have to be more tactically disciplined. They have to manage their game better. They have to use the space that they have, Femi. They have enough acres of space on the pitch that they are not using. They are so focused on this narrow route going through a camp, who plays from the left side of attack. They need to play more all over the pitch so that they give themselves width on the field of play. If they are able to do this, they may have a chance. But don't forget that they are playing in Serbia that also dragged Brazil before they eventually succumb to defeat. So Serbia will be very, very tough opponents. And Cameroon, in the spirit of African solidarity, I hope my head is telling me.
But without the spirit, Uncle.
My head is telling me something different. That's the truth. I don't see them escaping. But then, like you and James said, we've seen enough upsets in this World Cup to be cautious about the things we put out there. But like I said, if I have to close my eyes and pick a winner, if there's going to be a winner, I probably would be picking Serbia to win this game.
Okay, so James, I think Cameroon should also be kicking themselves because Choupo-Moting had chances against Switzerland if he failed to take. Now, Kadi also mentioned the kind of space in the midfield that they failed to explore in the defeat to Switzerland. Now, the goal scored by Mbolo, right? In the game. Kadi also, I remember, he rightly mentioned that Mbolo's run into the 18-yard, nobody was tracking him, and you have a number like 4 or 5 players in the box. These are the things that maybe the Serbs want to explore against Cameroon. That game, what do you expect from the Cameroonians?
Well, for me, they don't have any other option than to come all out now and start playing to win games now. We also what Morocco did. They came all out. They know that they needed victory and they got it. So it's about, we've been saying this, it's about scoring goals. No matter how well you play, if you don't score goals, I mean, you are heading home. Look at Tunisia. For me, Tunisia outplayed, who did they play against? Poland. But
they lost.
They lost because, Poland, it wasn't Poland, it was Australia. So it's about getting into the right position and at least try and take at least one of your chances. We've seen games that just a single, the goal that Australia scored, it was out of nothing. They took it and they sat on it. So for me, Cameroon, they just have to start putting on their scoring boot.
But sorry, is Rigobert his tactical prowess, can it be under question now? Should wait until after this game?
Well, let's wait and see. Maybe the first game, the thing about first games, the tension and everything. So
it's first major challenge.
Exactly. So let's wait and see. You remember when they played against Algeria in the qualifier, they lost at home.
They went away to win
and won. So maybe they were going to use the same approach, because you never can write off Cameroon like that. They are a big team, So for me, let's just hope that they are not going to be the first African team to crash out of this World Cup, because at least Morocco is almost showing into the round of 16. At least we want more African teams to get into the round of 16.
Okay, James Sabiri, thank you for coming on yesterday at the World Cup.
Thank you very much.
And Kayode, thank you for joining us via phone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and all the best to all African teams playing today.
Yeah, okay, you took that on my mouth. I was going to say all the best to Cameroon and Ghana, the Blasters of Ghana. They will be playing, of course, that is 2 p.m. Nigerian time, that will be 1 p.m. at Ghana time. So we wish them all the best. We do not want any African country to go home, at least in the first round of games. At least want them to get to maybe the knockouts phase. All the 5 teams, it is very, very possible. So watch out later for our review of the Ghana game. Remember that also Portugal and Uruguay will be doing business in Group H today. So we will be bringing all of those to you today. So until we see you later, I remain Olufemi Ashaolu. Bye for now.